Hello there. We are discussing Proverbs again. Today is really going to be an introduction, a really short video introduction into this topic. Discussing the Proverbs for guys is on this topic of what guys should look for and what a woman should strive for is quite different tackling it from the Proverbs than it is with women. And the reason is the setting of the book. The setting of the book is that Solomon wrote this for his sons, and he wanted his sons to have this wisdom. And we see in that an easier application for guys because that's who it was written for. And he also tackles on a number of occasions the temptations that guys have that are seen over and over. And so I just want to start by asking a question. How many times have you heard of or seen guys who fall in love with a woman who is physically beautiful that doesn't have much else going for her? She is mean. She is borderline or completely verbally abusive. She doesn't really contribute to anything meaningful. She might be lazy. She might, whatever it is. How many times have you seen something like that occur? And yet, he falls head over heels in love with this woman, and his life is basically ruined. I'm introducing this idea because this is one that Solomon will ponder on occasion. So I want guys to consider this as we look into the Proverbs. Consider this. Consider the fact that guys are made in such a way that they have certain temptations, certain things that they fall into that may actually cause different problems than a woman has. We talked a little bit about specific issues women have in finding men. Well, here's a specific problem that Solomon's going to talk about on a few different occasions. That guys are incredibly visible. There's this incredible physical attractiveness in this area that men struggle with. Men have a really hard time thinking through that and being really thinking in a way that maybe women don't. And I have heard that that's changing, but this is a problem for guys that may not be as much of a problem for ladies. I believe physical attractiveness to be very important, and I want to get this out of the way in the beginning. I believe it to be very important, and part of the way that God hardwired us to behave. I don't want to downplay this in any way, and so I don't want you to be listening to the things that I say and look and think, well, I can't believe beauty's not important. I think it's important. I think guys are hardwired in a way that makes them notice this physical attractiveness and seek after a spouse in part because of that. And so the first thing a guy notices is how a girl looks, and then from there, we're going to see, from there he's going to have other things that he has to think about and other things he has to consider. So, as with ladies, So as with the discussion on the ladies' side, when we said that men should be seeking for a woman who is marriageable, we need to say the same thing about men. You need to find a woman who is marriageable. It's not going to be all about looks, and you're going to see this over and over and over again. Solomon is going to drive this home to you. There are character traits that exist for women that men should be looking for in a wife. And that's what we're doing. That's how we're going to tackle this. It's what we're looking at here. Guys, you will find that choosing a wife will either be an incredible thing or it will be your undoing. And the idea we're going to find in here is that you need to do that wisely. You need to consider this wisely and think through this wisely. And as with the last week's discussion, ladies, you want to be the type of woman who honors God with your life and brings joy and happiness to those around you. So looking good is a good thing, but your life needs to be adorned with more than good earrings and the right lipstick. And I hope that the videos that follow this aid in that discussion and help us to think through that discussion.